This episode of Ask Your Dad is brought to you by Coda Bear Native American Jewelry. They do turquoise, awesome blankets for men, women, jewelry for kids. To get hooked up on a discount, go to codabear.com and use code AskYourDad20. That's KOTAHBEAR.com. Again, that code is AskYourDad20.
Ask Your Dad.
All right, welcome to Ask Your Dad. This is episode 10. You know, it's a little bit of a panic, but we decided we had to do this. We got to keep the show rolling. So we have three awesome guests. We'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Braden Jones. I am a dad
There you go.
to 4 kids.
First qualifier.
Yeah. To 4 kids. I got a 9-year-old boy, twin 7-year-olds as of yesterday.
Wow.
Boy, girl,
Congratulations.
twins, and then a little 3-year-old girl.
And I am Matt Flake. I've been on here before.
Returning guest from the TikTok episode.
Nice.
TikTok, yeah. And I've got 5 kids. I got 1 boy right in the middle and 4 girls. And they range from 4 years old to 12 years old. So
Perfect. All right. Lastly,
So Adam Ingersoll, I've got 5 kids. I've got a 9, 8, 8, 6, and a 2-year-old, almost 3. So they're
I
not
didn't
twins.
realize you had 5. I guess I should have known that. So 5, 5, 4.
I think
Yeah.
he's
And then
thinking
2.
about,
I'm the weakling.
Yeah.
and Adam's thinking about 6 and 7 right now.
No
I'm
way.
trying to convince the wife to have one more, but
Wait,
I don't
you
know if
are?
I can. Yeah,
You're trying to convince
Wow.
her?
It seems like we got one more there
Gotta
somewhere.
spread the Ingersoll seed.
Alyssa just doesn't believe me.
That's
So,
wild, dude. Yeah, 6. Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to talk about this week a little bit. I mean, we had the episode last week, talked about, like, it was just when the coronavirus stuff has just started, but this week has been crazy. We were talking about it at work on Thursday about, like, just how, Thursday, what was that, March 12th is when they started shutting down NBA, March Madness, like,
Yeah.
that's when it got real. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about, like, this is probably going to be, like, one of those days, like 9/11, that, like, you remember where you were.
For sure.
It's just craziness, right?
Yeah.
All the kids are on lockdown now, at least here in Utah. 2 weeks, no school. Are you guys all working from home? Our company's doing half of us. I'm not part of that half, unfortunately.
We implemented a policy, but it only affected like 80% of us. So I still have to go in.
Only
horrible.
8%.
Sucker.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I do outside sales, so I've just been told by customers not to come in, and then manufacturers, we don't meet with them. So
You're just chilling.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do for 2 weeks. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, everyone's saying it's going to be longer, too. I don't know.
Well, I think I know a couple companies around here they said minimum is 2 months.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Inside
A minimum
sales
2
was one
months
of
to
them.
what?
As a work from home.
Really?
it's crazy. What about you?
That's great.
don't
Yeah,
even
so
know
I
what
already
you do.
work from home mostly. So
Got it. Don't you
yeah,
just golf
not much has
most
changed.
of the days?
I take my afternoon naps, golf. I play with the kids a little bit.
He's like,
more,
yeah, I'm not
and
going to
that's it.
golf as much anymore. That's about the social distancing as you got, dude.
Dude,
That's
we
Creeping
were
up on
playing
the people behind you.
we were playing pickleball once, and I asked him how his day was. And he's like, "Oh, it's kind of stressful." I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" He's like, "I've been trying to fit this cot in my office. I don't know how to do it."
Oh my gosh.
I was trying to measure. I was trying to see
Well, that's a
if
for
I
real
could get a
story?
cot there. You know, they say if you take a nap in the afternoon, it's really good for your work schedule.
It's like really
Like your
builds your productivity, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 20-minute.
I've actually.
I'm just
heard
ahead
a
of the
lot it.
curve. You're going to implement that, Sue Brain.
Cots in the office. They might as well. I mean, we're
I think it helps with Corona too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
just sleeping as much as you possibly can.
We have a 30-minute cornhole tourney every day
Yeah.
in the office. Yeah.
So you're getting good at it then.
Well, we'll see.
Cornhole master over here. That's what I heard, at least. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, Sloan's not happy because the kids are going to be home for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All the moms are too pissed. It's too funny, I think.
Well,
yeah, I
and
find
it's
that
like-
interesting, right? My wife, that's like her biggest issue.
Hey, here's
She's
your-
got to be home
your
2
job.
weeks with the kids. It's like, come on, that's not that bad, is it?
They're your kids.
Come on.
Yeah, isn't that their job role as mother?
My wife was
Can you
actually
edit
like the
that part
exact opposite.
Can you edit that part?
Katie was like the exact opposite. She was stoked because she's like, I'm not going to send them on Monday or Tuesday anyways, because she's very like OCD, wash your hands 45 times a day. So she's like, I'm actually
Oh yeah,
glad that
Friday there
yeah.
were a ton of kids gone. My kid said it was like half their class was
Yeah.
gone on Friday.
Yeah.
So it's
Normally
pretty
there's
wild.
like 30 kids in my kid's class, and
Yeah.
there was like 8.
Everyone's too scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is like funny because I mean the kids are, I guess they can get it just as much as anyone else, but the mortality rate is pretty. I guess no one
Yeah,
wants their
pretty
kids
high.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they get you sick, and then their grandparents, and then it's gone. So from
The
there,
rough part, because the next 2 weeks I think it's supposed to be like rainy too,
yeah,
which
it's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone sent me a tweet that one of the Mexican restaurants here, Maria Bonita, has their. They're like, there's a huge sign on the side that said it because due to the virus, we are keeping the thermostat at 80 degrees, so the virus can't live in here.
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, so people are in
Sweatshop.
there just chips and salsa dripping sweat into the salsa.
With the
Worth
meat
it.
sweat.
I
on
love
top of
Maria
it.
Bonitas too.
I know that's a good
That's
place.
one of my favorite.
So that's like their
Their
way to
salsa
fight
is good.
the infection is keep it at 80 degrees
80
because you can say 78 degrees. to where-
78 degrees. It kills the virus.
That's wild.
So are you good to take your shirt off when you go in there to eat
I
then?
don't know. That's crazy. I've never heard of 80 degrees though. That's like living in Arizona, you know.
Pumpkin
And then have you guys had any trip? I had to cancel a ton of trips,
Yeah.
like for work.
Yeah, we had
We're thinking about canceling our Arizona trip to go down for spring break now too. Everyone's tripping out about it.
Yeah.
we had a conference thing that canceled in Vegas, so that's the only thing I've had.
Yeah.
Katie,
Is there any cases in Vegas though?
No, well, everybody's coming from out of state, out of country.
Yeah.
So I think
Into Las
all so
Vegas.
buffet, so like all the buffets shut down in Vegas last week.
Oh, that's probably smart. They should have done that years ago.
Yeah, that probably,
hey,
probably
you
caused
guys
it.
good
Probably where
Vegas
the virus-
buffet?
That's where the virus
We're
started.
in a good spot.
oh,
That's not Wuhan. It's freaking the Rio buffet.
Oh, dude, it's yeah. I'm a sucker for buffets though, but they are very unsanitary.
That makes two of us.
I had a couple coworkers that went down to Vegas last weekend, and they said it was a ghost town.
Yeah, I've heard it's
Like,
unreal.
Nobody
right now.
was
Prices
there.
are
nobody.
Sloane's going there for a girls trip in a couple weeks, and she's like debating going, but I'm like, there's gonna be no one there. It's gonna be
Yeah.
actually kind of cool. You'll have the pool to yourself.
Yeah.
Virus can't live out there. It's too
Yeah.
hot.
Well, the question is too. I think because Katie had this is like, so all these international flights are getting canceled. You get your money back, but like stuff that's getting canceled domestically, like events, then do you get your money back on that?
No,
Then you
I don't know.
Zero money back. I didn't get any money back.
Katie had a trip planned with her sisters and her mom to go do the whole Waco, Texas thing at
yeah.
Chip and
Chip and Gwen.
Guana. That's what it is.
Chip and
Guana.
Joe. Chip and
Joanna.
Gordon?
Anyways, yeah, so she's trying to figure that out.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
the Magnolia.
Yeah.
Magnolia
Yep.
Farm.
And then we have a trip, all three of us.
Yeah,
are
you
going to
guys
go
are
to
screwed.
Greece here in about a month and a half.
End of April we leave.
So we don't know
Oh,
what's
you're
going
just
on with
freaking-
that.
It's on pause.
Our travel agent guy said we'll give it 2
Just
weeks,
and see what
beginning of
happens.
April, and
Yeah.
then see what happens. But
I think if they
we
don't
paid all up
cancel,
front
right?
and everything, so we're kind of screwed. I think
Well, if they don't cancel the flights, I think we're planning on going.
for reals. But don't you have to get quarantined for like 2 weeks afterwards?
No. And the other thing that pisses me off too is all the misinformation about like because Sloan has friends who are like in London and
Yeah.
who are in Europe right now.
I have a coworker
who
that's in
stopped their
Amsterdam
trip
right now.
and they're like, oh, I got to come home.
Yeah.
Because Trump said like, oh, we're not like first of all, it's illegal to not
allow
let
somebody
American
back in.
citonce back into America
Really?
with a passport. Yeah.
They're letting
Well,
Ameri-
they're
US
letting them in.
citizens
You
back
just have
in.
to self quarantine, right?
I don't know. Once
My-
you get back
There's
in,
zero
what they
information
do.
about it.
So my parents just got home this morning from a cruise from Belize and Honduras, and they said they were all worried about kind of debarking from the boat, and they said it was just fine. Like I got that text coming in today, so
Wow.
I don't know. But then again,
too
that's
sketch.
Central America, so I don't know. A
little different.
Europe is a
I
little
think
bit
we're gonna be
different. Yeah.
Too
Keep
hot.
the faith.
It's too
Keep
hot.
the faith.
It's too hot down there. Yeah, Trump did National Day of Prayer today, so we'll see. That should work probably. Yeah, that'll work. That'll cure it. Okay, well, let's get in now that we've talked about all the depressing stuff. Let's get into this. So this week's about like babysitters. This is good because you guys have kids that are. You've probably been through many a babysitter, right? And babysitting, probably your own kids as well. I mean, I know Matt's kids babysit our kids. So the first question we asked was, how much do you pay your babysitter? So I think this depends. So before we get into this, I'm going to tell you. So we usually do. We only have 2 girls. They're like pretty They're not. They're 8 and 6.
Yeah.
The other one's almost 7. So they're pretty like self-sustaining. Like they basically can do everything on their own. And we usually pay like $5 an hour per kid, which is like a lot of the common answers here. But then we were talking to one of our friends who like one of their kids is one of our babysitters. She's like, "Oh, you guys way overpay her." She's like too pumped about how much you pay her. I'm like, I don't think it's that much. It's
Yeah.
basically $10 an hour for 2 kids. So then we started talking with other people that were with us, and they're like, it was like all over the board. So I wanted to see what you guys. I know, like, and then there's another question here later that's going to be how much did you get paid as a kid, or like how much did your parents pay babysitters,
Yeah.
which is like way crazy different.
Yeah. So I have 4 kids, and I pay $10 an hour.
So you're half
Around
of what
4. Well,
I've
do you
got
do
5.
But
and
do you do
$10 an
Yeah,
hour.
I don't. Do you do it
No
per
way.
I
kid?
think it's $10. We just
Yeah,
pay $10 an hour.
That's what we do as well.
for 5.
I don't know if it's broken down by kid, obviously, because that would be
Yeah.
like slave labor, right? At $2. That's
Now you're starting to
that-
question, huh?
Yeah.
See, I thought
You
I
guys are
was
gonna feel bad
actually
after
like,
this episode.
I actually answered that on the
Yeah.
Instagram text, and I thought I was like kind of a baller. I'm like, hell yeah, I pay $10 an hour.
Well,
you
and then
know,
watch our
And
kids when we call, so we
like-
watch our kids when we call, so we pay around $10 an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. So our neighbors paid $10 an hour. This is like 2 years ago, and I'm like, $10 an hour? You guys are freaks. That's so much money. And then Katie's like, we should do it. I'm like, all right.
What were you at before? Like 8?
Well, we
7?
just use like my siblings,
Oh, like people that you don't
aunts
pay.
and
Yeah.
like my
Yeah.
in-laws and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
when we started paying probably about 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And anyways, I thought I was a baller, but apparently not.
Yeah, you're 4 kids. That's a steal, dude. That's a pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't know it was per head.
Well, also
This is
you
like,
have kids that are like in diapers, right?
No,
Still?
no.
Oh, your kids are older.
yeah, our 3-year-old,
I guess you told me
3.5-year-old.
3.5.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference then, right? Probably is the kids are a little bit older, so they don't need as
Yeah.
much help.
Yeah.
When they're younger, I think maybe we paid more.
Our kids, if you put on a show, they will not move. So with all the babysitters, we just say
They're getting paid to watch
throw
a movie.
on a movie and you're good, and then you just go tell them to go to bed, and they go to bed.
Well, that's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, a couple of them fight, someone gets hurt. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like it could go downhill
yeah.
fast, quickly.
Yeah.
So you do $10 an hour for 5 kids?
I don't quote me on that.
You don't even know what you pay your babysitter.
I don't know exactly, but it always seems like $40, $50 is like, and we're gone 4 or 5 hours. So
Yeah.
it's ballpark there,
Yeah.
$10, $12 an hour.
It's the best one you can Venmo them
Seems
too.
about right.
And Matt's never paid his kids or babysitters. He does it with trade. He's like, you like that Mexican Coke? I'll give you a 6-pack for a Mexican Coke. Real sugar cane here. Real sugar cane.
A 6-pack, dude. They better be babysitting for the weekend for a 6-pack. That's expensive stuff.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, I have actually traded Mexican Coke
For a
stuff.
babysitter.
No, not a babysitter. For a guy to come remove my bats for me. I had
For
bat-
Mexican Coke.
Well, that was part of the deal.
And he took the deal.
And what else?
yeah. Well, it was it was Coke and some cash.
Oh, nice.
Now, can't he just go to the
Coke
grocery
and
store and
cash.
get his own
Coke
Cokes?
and cash. You can, but they're kind of hard to find, and you like them cold too. There's a big difference.
That's true. If they're hot, if they're
So-
basically the hot and ready version of Coke.
Yeah. No, we pay our as far as like I think we used to pay like I don't know $5 an hour or
Before
something.
your kids
Yeah,
were
but
able to
our
babysit.
kids watch them.
$5 an hour per kid?
But you're oldest, so when you have
yeah, that's
4,
like $25.
This was like they've been babysitting since like 8, so
yeah.
I don't know. We haven't had a babysitter for
How old's your
a number of
oldest?
years. 12.
How old's Tay?
Almost 13.
Great
So
uncle.
you've been
right
doing
there.
4 or 5 years.
So 4 or 5 years we haven't had a
How old are
babysitter.
your kids?
Dude, I've got 7 brothers and they all kids. I don't know half their names.
That's fair.
Some people though, I was talking to it was one of our neighbors, and they were saying that I guess babysitters are getting very demanding. Me and Braden were actually talking about this last night. And they demand like X amount per hour.
I know, that's what
It's
some of
like
these people said.
$18 an
It's
hour.
pretty crazy.
That's stupid.
And like there was one situation where the lady thought that it was $34, and the babysitter said, "Oh no, we said 44," and they kind of got into
The little
it.
kid?
Yeah, and she wouldn't leave until she got her extra $10.
Her mom's probably like, you do not
good
get off
news.
that.
And it
before
was
she
like,
goes.
dude, she babysitted for like less than 2 hours. I'm paying $44 for like,
How many kids? 2, 3?
I think it was like 3 kids or something.
There was a Facebook thing going in my neighborhood because my wife was negotiating with, it turned out to be like the mom. And she
Oh
posted
my
a thing saying, if you want your kids to be safe, if you really want your kids to have a qualified babysitter, you
CPR
should pay them
certified.
more.
Yeah.
Like CPR certified and stuff like that.
Are
and
you
it's like,
serious?
yeah. So she was saying it indirectly, like in our neighborhood. Like, you
What?
should be paying basically my daughter more than what.
Wow.
What?
Did
So
your
it's
wife
like-
comment on the group?
I don't think so.
Well, it's almost
You
like
had to hold it right from the computer. Like, babe, leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Don't touch
She's
that.
like, "Let me get
Yeah.
Don't type it.
parents have got to like
That's
combine,
stupid.
dude, and retaliate.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like some of these people. So like, we'll go through some of these. Matt Francis says $15 an hour for 5 kids.
Wow.
He's got pretty young ones though, too.
I am cheap.
This
I
guy's
need to-
15 for
Yeah,
for
dude,
3 kids,
some
$5
people-
an hour.
Do you, is there the question you pay what you get for?
$15 an hour, 5 for each kid.
I will say,
That's what Josie. I can't. Everett.
based on their age, like if we get an older high school individual coming, I think we pay more. We've had
That's
we've
the
had-
thing. I feel when it's an older person, I feel like I have to pay them more. I don't know why. It's not like they have like options.
Additionals, yeah.
Or like if they want to say no, they'll say no. But also, I think it's weird. A couple people will be like, "Well, you got to talk to them before." I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna like ask them like, hey, what is your babysitting rate?" Because then you're just open like, "Oh,
Oh,
they're
yeah,
gonna I can
floodgates.
do whatever I want."
Yeah,
15 an
exactly.
hour. You know, some people say 5 and 8. Depends. Jeremy Cooper depends on age, experience, but 5 to 8 an hour. Courtney Francis is
That's
the
Matt's
spouse.
friend.
Yeah,
5 to 8 an hour.
15
Okay.
an hour.
With Coke.
Kaylee Larson, 11 to 12 hourly. My philosophy is pay well, and we never have trouble finding a babysitter, which is what you were saying.
That's what
that.
I like, but I thought $10 was like I mentioned, I was a baller.
I think $10 is still pretty good. A lot of people said 10 an hour.
When you're thinking about it, though, these kids are like, we've had 12-year-olds watch our kids all the way up to like 16-year-olds, but a 12-year-old making $10 an hour,
It's good money.
that's crazy. When
Oh,
I was
yeah.
16, I was making $5 an hour doing construction.
Yeah,
So
it's back before the labor laws.
Yeah, I guess. Or I just dated myself, but dude,
Back
I
when I was
think, yeah, I think
16.
$10. Yeah,
We were
I
just
think that's good.
we were bartering back then.
Your babysitter's going to listen to this podcast and realize
Yeah.
she's
I
getting
know.
screwed.
I know,
No,
seriously.
yeah,
taken
seriously.
advantage of.
Here's like a lower one. Christina Wilson, $7 an hour for my 2. Sitter never leaves less than 20, even if it's closer to 2 hours. Yeah, how you feel dumb
Yeah.
being like, hey, here's
Yeah.
a 10 and 4 ones. Like how is that?
$11.
Dude, you
Plus,
put the
you
10
never-
on top and then wad the ones in the middle so it looks like a lot.
Way
And you
more.
give it right before they leave the door.
Yeah, as you're driving.
Yeah, they're not coming back though.
That's
We
true.
we drop
screwed.
ours off though. We'll pick them up and then we'll take them home.
There's a
you know?
comment. $8 an hour for the good ones.
Wow.
Where's that? Oh, the Joel Bowman, $8 an hour for the good one, $7 an hour. She's 13 plus an hour. This is Chad 808 plus 13 an hour plus my wife does her nails once a month. She's more of a nanny. What? Hildoria, 13 an hour for 2 kids. Is that a lot? Grant Cumming just sends an eggplant emoji. Thanks, Grant. Sell Duffin, 10 an hour. Mike Sardoni, Jenny is the coin master for the sitters. just like Adam over here has no idea what they pay.
This guy's only $2 per hour per kid.
That's tough,
That's
dude.
what my wife does,
That's
I
tough.
think.
$2 an hour
So it
per
turns out to
child
be
per
10
kid. $3 for a baby an hour if they change that diaper.
So that's only like he has 3 kids, so that's $6 an hour.
Isn't he in your neighborhood, right?
7 because he's got a baby. Because he's saying 2 and then 3 for the babies.
Well, he has like a 3-year-old.
Oh, isn't his youngest in diaper? I have no idea.
Oh, maybe I don't know.
You're probably right.
What does
$6
Amy
an hour.
Forsyth say right there? That's my long lost cousin.
5.
She's our cousin,
Hey, I knew I liked
What?
you guys.
You guys are related?
I guess.
Yes, we are now.
Fortunately.
Job B says 14 an hour.
What? Does he have like 12 kids?
Well, I don't think he has any kids. He has one.
He doesn't have any
He has
kids.
one.
Hey, come on over. I want you to babysit.
Yeah, someone needs to turn him in. Amy Forsyth, 5 kids equals $7 plus extra depending on what was expected. My teens tend. This is broken up
For
into
free
2.
now.
10 for free now. Well, yeah, when you have kids, $5 kids, $7. That's a nice
She's
babysitter.
getting
Yeah.
very good
She's
deal.
getting
That's
dilled.
a
Yeah,
deal.
send me your babysitter info. Jay Minton. This gives me the most anxiety. I stress I'm paying too much and stress I'm paying too little. Yeah, that's why the conversation started because everyone's like, well, if you're paying that, like maybe my babysitter's
Yeah.
talking to your babysitter and, you know.
Well, and that's the thing is if you
They're
find a really
colluding.
good, that's a whole nother question. If you find a really good babysitter, do you want other people? Do
You
you
gotta
want
keep her in her wraps.
Yeah, because didn't you?
They go
You
fast.
shared that polygamous girl's info,
yeah.
and then freaking Ingersoll stole her.
What
Didn't
is
he?
it,
We
$1 an
scare
hour?
babysitters off like crazy. My house
Ingersoll
is
wouldn't
nuts.
share with us. The one
We sometimes can't get the babysitter back. We try to offer more money. They don't
They're
come
like,
back.
no.
Sorry.
They do one night with
Disney
your
too
kids.
crazy.
We had a babysitter in our neighborhood that Ingersoll found out about and took her over, dude.
I
Nobody
thought,
could get
I
her
thought it was
anymore.
that.
Hold on, let's talk
polygamous
about
Don't give
girl.
me that
Yeah,
information.
let's talk about this polygamous girl. What in the world? She just
Well,
used
there
to
was
watching
one in
70
Eagle Mountain when we
kids.
lived in there,
Yeah.
and she was really good.
She was awesome,
But
yeah.
I don't think the one that you've been using is a polygamous girl in our neighborhood, right?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Did you ask?
So do you go all the way down and pick her up and bring
He
her back?
doesn't.
Who's the
Anymore.
girl? Who is it?
He doesn't anymore.
What's her name?
I can't remember. I just met her son or her brother yesterday.
Hey, she was down
But
in your neighborhood?
Yeah, she's one of our neighbors. And you guys used to always use her when you were out in Saratoga.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you moved,
Yeah,
you
we
started
did.
commuting,
Yeah.
and because it
Yeah,
was
she
like
was
a
awesome. Actually, we've had her
15-minute
come
drive.
back for years.
Yeah,
She's
15
been with
or
us for
20-minute
years.
drive each way.
Yeah, because
I don't know if that- oh, because
when
that's
she
that
turned
worth it?
16, she could
Sheesh,
drive out.
dude.
She was driving.
But you haven't used her now because she's probably old and doesn't
No,
babysit
we still
anymore.
have used her. She
Oh,
still
really?
comes over. Yeah, so
Is
we've
her-
used her since she
yeah.
was 12.
Has her rate gone up
Wow.
per year?
I'm gonna assume yes.
You have
Oh,
no
I
idea.
can't even ask him these questions. He doesn't even know.
You know what? We take
why-
care of
why
her
do you-
though because she's awesome.
Why do your babysitters run away? Your kids are just like
I might that
they
yeah.
just like beat them up.
Well, so all my kids. So again, my first 4 kids are only 3 years apart.
His kids are all young.
So
He's got
for a
5.
while, our first 2 kids are adopted.
Okay.
And then our 2 girls are actually only 6 months apart. And so for a while, we were changing like 500 diapers a month. And that's not a joke.
Wow.
So I got a major pay increase as soon as they started getting out of diapers.
Oh, seriously, dude.
That didn't include the wipes, guys. You put that in there.
You can't even find wipes right now, dude. You can't even find wipes right now.
So I felt like for a while, we were just like churning through babysitters because probably they were just
Oh,
changing
yeah.
diapers the whole time.
Yeah.
But
That's crazy.
things have settled down now. So we've got some consistent, babysitters now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so the average answer is probably on $5 per kid, from what $10 an hour. I mean, I don't know, maybe probably $3 per kid, depending on how many kids. But most people said $10 an hour,
Yeah.
and I know those people at least have 3 or 4 kids.
Okay.
We have 2.
Well, that makes me feel good.
I think I'm overpaying. I think you might be overpaying by a couple bucks
$10 an hour?
for 3.
For
4.
Oh,
paying
yeah, actually, you're
$2.50 per hour.
underpaying. I'm overpaying.
Yeah.
I'm getting rammed. Yeah. But then when if it's a family, like when Matt's niece comes,
Yeah.
I feel like the younger they are, or Matt's daughter, my niece, the younger they are, like I said, if I know they're like 17, then I feel like I have to pay them $10 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they're like 9 or 10 or something, then I'll be like, we can probably maybe like 6 or 7, and they still will be pumped about it.
See, I would not trust a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old to babysit.
Well, my kids are way too old. My kids are basically, they're all playing at that point.
Yeah. But
I
if
just
you
have
have
the
like a
2-year-old
10-year-old,
Watching like
are
a
they
2-year-old.
really like watching your
Yeah.
7 or 8-year-old? Is
Yeah.
that really like babysitting? That's just like a friend over hanging out.
Yeah, but I can't leave and that's another question later. I can't leave
Yeah.
my 8 and 6-year-old alone.
Yeah.
Why not?
Dude,
Yeah.
Coco, no, my oldest doesn't. She'll
Ask
zone
Matt
in
this
on TV.
question. It's like
She'll-
once they turn 3, they're like, oh yeah, they're fine.
They'll make it back.
yeah.
Let's
life's
get,
tough. They
let's
gotta
get
figure
into
it out.
that then. What age do you live in? Age do you leave them?
We started doing like 8 and 9.
But you have girls that
That's
are older within the same age, or I mean, they're like a
Close.
year apart,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like you can.
But we even leave Brock's now. He'll babysit
Oh,
the
see.
2 girls. But not for like hours. I mean,
I
we're talking
can't.
like an hour or 2.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people said. 8 and 9 at the youngest, only for an hour or less. A lot of people
Yeah.
are saying 11, 12.
11, 12, I think.
Lad
So 12 is they're
Castellano.
going out and they're babysitting for everybody.
like you're going out on a date, and at 12
No,
year
I'm
old,
saying 11 and 12.
They're fine.
They're for hire now. Like 10, 11,
Oh,
12.
yeah.
People are hiring them out.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Lad Castellano, I think I was 5 years old watching either Padres game or Blues Clues by myself, just leaving their 5-year-old home.
We left him for the first time a few weeks ago just to go to a movie.
Oh wow.
gotta-
But we
test it
put
out.
him down for bed.
Okay.
That only lasted an hour.
Do you have,
we ended
like-
up leaving the movie early.
Oh,
'cause
how
they
did
were
you know?
calling. They were in a big
You
fight.
saw a camera or something?
Well, we do have cameras at the house
Okay.
inside. No, but they have their little watches. They can
Oh,
call
got
us.
you.
And some fight broke out, and everybody's screaming, and we're just like,
Oh, boy.
we're right, in the middle
Yeah.
of the movie. Had to go home. Didn't work out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him melatonin next
That
time
sounds
before we
like,
leave.
that sounds
Struggling.
like my house growing up all the time. We had fights every single time.
Yeah,
All boys.
Yeah, I remember I think I talked about this a little bit last week or maybe the week before about. I remember starting babysitting when we were like in 7th grade, which I don't know how old that is.
That's
12.
like 12,
13,
12, 13.
12,
yeah.
13.
Yeah, I remember like you turn like, I don't know, 11, 12, and it's like, all right, now everyone above you gets to go hang out on the weekend, and you're screwed, for the next 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to go babysit like other people. A
What?
lot. Yeah.
I never got asked.
When we lived in San Diego,
I'm surprised Matt did too.
when we lived in San Diego, I was like, for probably like a year and a half, consistently.
Getting hired out.
That's really weird.
See, I feel like you don't hire guys anymore.
No, I wouldn't.
Like 100%, no chance.
Yeah,
No.
I feel like that's
I don't-
weird.
I don't remember that happening.
It's like
Yeah.
abducted in plain sight. Once that came out, no one's hiring male babysitters anymore.
I must have been living in the golden age. I don't know.
Yeah.
Most people are just said
you must have been really
8 to 10.
responsible. What happened?
They probably mistaken me for not very boyish. I guess I don't know.
It's because like he looks like he's gonna take care of my kids. Jeremy Cooper, oldest at least 12, with the youngest at least 5. Yeah, there's it's all over the board. I think I'll probably wait until Coco's like 10 and then Nora's like 8, which I probably can leave him now for an hour, but like Coco's just like she'll watch TV and she'll literally zone to where I have to like clap in front of her face to get her out of it.
Yeah.
So I could just see like the house on fire and Nora cooking ramen and Coco just literally sitting in there and just
idea.
going down with the ship.
Well, and I think it depends on the kid too. Like if you got one
Exactly.
that's like zoned out, because like
Oh, yeah.
Taylin and Savannah's a younger one, but I feel
Yeah.
like she's more in tune of what's going on.
Yeah.
Where Taylin is like, oh, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because I have a 9-year-old boy as far as the oldest. And my wife went up the street like 3 or 4 houses up just to go drop something off at the neighbors. And my wife's like, Nixon, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be
Yeah.
gone for 5 minutes. You have the kids. I'll put on a show.
He's
You're
9.
good to go. And he's like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, he's 9,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So she goes up the street. She comes back 10 minutes later. She comes out the door, and 3 of my kids, 3 of the 4, are on the front yard screaming and bawling.
It's freezing cold outside.
Yeah, and she's gone seriously 10 minutes. And she goes inside and she's like, Nixon, what are you doing? What happened? And he's like, what are you talking about, Mom? It's like, everybody's outside screaming and crying hysterically. He's like, no, they're not. It's like, you have no idea what's going on. So anyways, it's going to be a while until we leave our kids
That was the
solo.
first test run, just went horribly wrong.
Yeah, 10 minutes up the street.
Well, she did double. She said 5 minutes to him. And then she
Yeah,
went
that's,
to 10.
that is
So,
true.
Maybe he's
I
watching
don't
her
want
as
to pass the
perfect lie.
black.
The first 5 minutes probably went well.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you hit the 5-minute mark, and then I was off.
that's your bad, Mom.
Okay, so this next question, we're talking about like just kind of like that stories that worst babysitting stories, right? When I remember this is like maybe a month after I started babysitting my little brothers when I was like 12 or 11. We were it was like during the summer we were all playing outside. So I have 3 little brothers that I was like watching, and Jostin, who's just younger than me by 3 or 4 years, so he probably was like 7 at the time. He was like, we only had one tree in our front yard, like a little tiny oak. I don't even know what kind it was, that white like aspen tree, and then underneath it was like 2 of those massive rocks that everyone thought were like cool to put in their yard back in the day. So it was like one of those like granite cut rocks or whatever. So
Jagged
he's most jagged rock you've ever seen. So I'm sitting on the front porch watching the other 2 kids. They're all just playing. Jostin's like up in the tree, climbing up in the tree. And it's a tiny tree, like it's maybe 12 feet tall.
Totally
It
falls.
climbs out on the branch, a little tiny branch, breaks it, just head first
Shut
down,
up.
smashes his face against the rock, like full on like torpedoes down, just like a cartoon.
Hands to the side.
Hands to the side, just perfect swan dive right into this freaking rock. And I didn't know. I freaking hate blood. Like I still to
Yeah.
this day I don't do blood, needles, any of that. And he gets up and his face is just jacked. Like his nose is bleeding everywhere, blood all in his face, like his mouth.
And you're like, "Ugh."
Oh, I was like dying, dude. I didn't know what to do. I'm like running around. I'm like, and you could like see chips of rock in his face, like it was like gray,
Wow.
like he had literally like got chips of this like granite like into his bone. I don't know what happened, but
You're
I was
just running around the tree and panic.
yeah, I didn't know what to do. I was just freaking out, and then like luckily one of our neighbors, Jan Young, who lived 2 doors
yeah.
down, she was basically like our second mom.
She was like a neighborhood babysitter.
Dude, she was driving her white Suburban. She just threw all the kids in. She was driving her Suburban up at that exact moment. I just ran out in the street. I should have got hit by a car. Like I didn't even look. I just ran out and blocked her
Stop,
car.
Chad.
Like stopped her car, And I was like, can you take him? Like, he's hurt. He's really hurt. And she's like, oh, let me see. And she sees him. She's like, get in the car, you know. And then so she basically just took him. This is before like cell phones. Took him in the Suburban, and then I just like hung out with the other 2 kids.
What
Like,
happened to him?
She took him to the hospital, and he got all stitched up. And
Oh, he had like
they
straight
had
up
to, they had to
stitches.
pull up or not graft. They had to pull
The rocks
the
out of
rocks
his face.
out of his skin.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Did he break his nose?
Yeah, his nose is jacked.
Still?
I think it's fine now. I haven't really looked at it, but
We'll see in the
it
day. I'm
seems to be fine.
gonna look at it from a few different angles and make
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. But they my parents came home. They're like, you know, one of the kids is missing, and I'm like, oh, he's in the
One of the
hospital.
kids.
I think he's at the hospital, but I don't know.
He's
Some
at the
lady
hospital.
took her.
Yeah, we have
stopped-
crazy. A lot of those.
I
crazy
stopped
stories.
traffic and sent him.
Yeah. Just-
send him with
There's
some
like
stranger.
there was literally blood on the rock still. I think we just ended up like flipping the rock over on the other side.
Dirt's a lot easier to brush off.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, let's turn it over. It looks good from this side. But yeah, my parents came home stunned. Like, you know, oh yeah, he's in the hospital. And then another time, Matt, you probably remember this more than I do, but like my parents were out, like Alpine Days is like the city carnival or whatever, and everyone looked forward to it back in the day. And the night before, so Saturday, they have a huge parade in town with horses and everything.
It's a rodeo.
Oh yeah, the rodeo. So you have to drive up past our old house to get to the rodeo grounds up in Alpine. And my parents weren't home. I don't know where they were. It was a Friday night. They probably had date night. I can't remember who was babysitting. It definitely wasn't me. I just was like watching this.
It was me. I was there.
And they were moving the horses down from the rodeo grounds to get ready for the parade, I guess. Like the people were like in the rodeo queen outfit, right?
Yeah, they were riding them
They're riding them down the street to go down
Grove
to
Drive on the main road.
down to some stables. I don't know. And a car ended up hitting the horse.
What?
Someone hit this girl on the horse while she was on
How
it.
do you not see a horse?
I don't know.
Night, dude. This
That's
is a dark. This
crazy.
is like at 9 o'clock at night or so.
Yeah.
A horse isn't like a little object.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, maybe she was just like riding down. We didn't see it happen. We just heard it. It happened literally right in front of our house. And I just remember hearing the screeches and then a huge bang. I'm like, oh, car accident. It came out and there's just this horse tripping out on our lawn. And the girl
On your
was
lawn?
On our front lawn.
Yeah, so you probably remember it more than I do. I just remember I have
Oh
like
my
vivid
gosh.
memories of this. And the girl was like, I mean, she didn't die, but she was jacked. Like she was laying in the
She got
gutter.
hurt.
Like she's in there like her
I've
full,
never heard this
full
story.
rodeo queen outfit, like shiny blue. And she's just, I thought she was dead. I remember
Should
seeing her.
be
I'm like,
funny,
oh, she's
but-
dead. And yeah, my
horse
parents are
was
still
laying
not
down.
here. Horses like was like
He was
freak,
laying down, but
making
like
crazy
flopping,
noises.
like trying to get
Yeah.
up. And
Straight up on our lawn, like blood on our
gosh.
lawn, like 5 feet from us. So we're all sitting on the porch just watching this happen 2 feet away from us.
Dude, we literally went in and got snacks and
Yeah.
sat
A
down
jar
yeah.
of pickles.
and, and watched. And we were like, what is going
Yeah,
on?
we're all
Cops
sitting there.
Swarmed our house.
Yeah, cops swarmed, and then they ended up like shooting the.
Shooting on our
Shooting?
on our lawn.
No, they didn't.
Promise
Yeah.
you,
On your
they
front.
didn't tell us to go inside.
Put it down.
Alpine PD,
They were probably so stoked.
dude. They were
Dude,
never
first
more
time they were able
stoked.
to pull a gun out.
Yeah, pull a gun out, and this dude doesn't like shoot it once in the head. He unloads an entire clip in the freaking.
He didn't. He
It was
didn't.
lethal weapon. I'm
His
not kidding.
First time, dude. Had to
What
put
What
Entire
about
clip.
its misery?
In front of everybody.
Well, I think he was trying, but he was like hitting its neck, its side. Like
like,
I think he was going for the heart. I don't know what he was doing, but
Isn't the heart in the hood?
Yeah.
The best of the best.
dude, he literally unloaded an entire clip, and it was like me, Justin, Kyson, like we were all just watching.
He
the entire
probably
game.
honestly shot four to six times.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, dude, you're supposed to like kill
Yeah.
him per shot.
And it was every time it'd shoot, it was like, "Wah," or like freak out.
Dude,
It was the most traumatic thing I've ever seen.
After the first shot, it like got up and started like trying to go, but it couldn't. And so the cop was like, "Well, I can't just shoot when it's standing up because there's kids everywhere." And
he
He
starts
just kept
stabbing
unloading
it.
it. He just started shooting out its kneecaps, so it had to fall. It was so traumatic.
He started shooting at his kneecaps.
No, I'm just kidding. Like as it was getting out, but I just remember seeing this and being like, I can't believe what I just witnessed.
well, and then parents pull up and house is surrounded by cops, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" So they come.
What
in,
happened with the
yeah,
flakes?
Frantic.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
going
there
on?
was a fire truck. Like everyone and every part of the public service was at our house that
Oh
night.
yeah.
And we're sitting there with our
Blocked off
shirts
the main
off,
road.
passing Pringles around.
We're in our boxers, probably. Not kidding. It was too much. And then like, so then the horse dies, and then after they had to like strap something to it and drag it away or move it. I can't remember
it
how
was
they
like
moved it.
they had to a
forklift
thing
probably,
coming.
right?
Yeah, and then after they moved it, there was literally a pool. Like our entire front lawn was blood. just pool of blood. And I don't remember them ever coming back and cleaning it up. Like we just like played in it the next day.
Yeah,
Oh my
I think we
God.
did, I think we
could
did
see
some mud football
Lord
or
of the
some
Flies.
blood
I could see
football.
Kenyon doing that, getting some smearing on his face. Do the haka.
Doing the Indian stuff. That's from that one
He would
story
do
where
the haka.
babysitting.
He
I don't.
does.
Were you there, Nate? when we were-
I witnessed this, but I wasn't babysitting. I was still young. I was
Yeah.
just like sitting in the corner watching all this happen.
Colson
my
and Kenyon
gosh.
got in a fight, like a pretty bad one. Colson takes
So
Kenyon,
Colson's our oldest brother.
straddles him,
Kenyon's
doing the
just
old
below Matt.
punching in the face thing
This is Colson to Kyson.
to Kenyon.
Oh, Kenyon.
So they were both like eighth
Kenyon.
grade. No, like sophomore and ninth grade, probably.
Okay.
Takes a rollerblade
Because I was young.
What?
to his face. Busts up his nose a little bit. They freak out. We stop. We're like,
This
dude,
is Colson, yeah.
this is too much.
Yeah.
Kenyon leaves, dude. Blood coming down his face.
Yeah, this is where. Yeah.
Goes into the bathroom. Takes the phone in with him with a cord, calling the cops. So I unplugged the cord.
Called the cops.
Oh, I forgot that
He's
part.
in there for like
Recorded phones.
20
My
minutes.
brother assaulted me. Come arrest him. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that was a daily. That was a daily at our house. Though one of our brothers calling the cops to say his brother assaulted him.
No
Just
way.
Yeah.
911 all the time. Yeah.
So he's got the long cord. He's locked in the bathroom. I unplug it from the thing. Probably like 15, 20 minutes later, he comes out, shirt off, and war paint made out of his own blood, dude, on his face and on his chest, dude. This is
Yes.
before he knew the haka, but you could tell like it was in him to like, dude,
Yeah.
And he comes barreling
With
down
knives.
Yeah.
for
Double
Colson,
knife,
dude.
double knives, dude. He pulled
Oh, yeah,
the knives out of
knife.
the
He
kitchen.
pulled knives
Knife
out of the
in each
kitchen,
hand.
and
Yeah.
he's 15 at this
They're
point.
not super sharp
was
because
pretty
we never
shredded, though.
sharpened our knives, but they
Yeah,
were
we never sharpened our knives.
but like the big carving knives, and he comes in just a guns a blazing, dude, and he's like just blaring mad
Like, I'm gonna
for
cut you up.
Colson's neck, dude.
A couple times I would go over there and they would be in the middle of fights, you
Yeah.
guys, with like hockey sticks.
Hockey
And I was
sticks.
just like, what is going on?
Long story short is we all stopped Kenyon.
You know,
We
he
had- I
locked
think we
himself
had-
in his room.
We had to jump on him forever.
Well, Colson locked himself in his room, and then
what it
Kenyon was just literally chopping through the wood doors with the knives, just
And-
throwing the wood knives through the doors, chopping,
is that why-
pounding.
Is that why you guys didn't have doors?
And then
throughout
eventually,
your
my
whole
parents,
house?
well, that and other reasons, but we just
8 boys in one house. That was before you could have cell phones too. So it was
funny.
all doors were taken off the house. So yeah, when people come downstairs, like, why
yeah,
are
they're
there
just
all the
chopping
doors?
They're chopping.
Why were the doors missing?
Dude, the doors were chopped up, bro, and people would throw stuff at them. Yeah, we
had-
have so
had
many
dart
babysitting
fights and
stories.
stuff.
You don't want to be at the Flake's house if you have to go poop because you're pooping like.
You're out in the open.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
you're in the outhouse
Yeah.
It was
outside.
like-
It's like, hey, what's up, dude? Just dropping a load in here.
Yeah, just
It's
Kyson
like the
in there
prison
washing his
poop.
hands. Yeah, seriously. So that was the worst stories. What did you have? Any other bad stories?
You know, we've been pretty fortunate. The only one thing that was kind of weird is we came home and this girl found some paint in our house, and they were painting outside with our kids, but they
Yeah.
painted on all of our landscaping rocks, like real paint.
Like actual white. Wow.
Yeah, and she painted some classic phrases. One being, "If you were a porcupine, I would still hug you." She painted
that on
that
a rock?
on a rock, and we're like, "What?" So I mean, that,
If you were still a porcupine, I'd give you a hug.
yeah, I would still hug
That's
you. or
nice, at
something.
least.
Yeah.
It's a nice message.
But it's like
tender-hearted.
that's painted on our rock.
Dude, how'd you get it off?
We try to scrub it, and it
Turn it over.
yeah, I should have. But no, I think at the end of the year, it just came off. Eventually wore
crazy.
off. But I mean, besides that, we haven't had to. I mean, just
Babysitter's
the
pretty
house.
normal.
Yeah, the house is wrecked a couple times or something like that. But
I don't really expect my babysitters to clean. Some people were like, "Oh, it depends on they have to be able to clean." I'm like, I don't really care as long as my kids are fine and like
yeah,
I could go out on
Tell
a
our
date.
girls to,
Yeah.
to clean. We're like, hey,
Yeah.
take care of all the kids, but then clean up. At least like
Yeah.
a good rough. You have to
Yeah.
scrub every dish, but make sure it's
Like
good
at least
and clean.
everything's collected. Adam, do you have any crazy stories from babysitters?
Well, growing up, I grew up in American Fork, and we lived by this apparently a drug dealer. We didn't know, right? And so one night we're all sitting there, and all of a sudden we hear this like pop, pop, pop. What? And we go outside, and we have SWAT team on our roof,
what?
and SWAT team on his roof circling the house.
Dude.
And yeah, our parents were gone,
AF
and it
is
was just
rough, dude.
Yeah, it was gangster, man. You had to pack heat down there.
Yeah, AF, dude.
But it was crazy. I mean, when you're like 8 or 9 years
Yeah, you
old,
see that?
and these guys with, look like machine guns, just all dressed in black helmets,
Yeah.
swarming. They're on your lawn, and we're just watching this through the window.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
I don't actually know what happened to the guy, but
Wow.
Rest
that
in
was our
peace.
neighbor.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace, dude.
Dude, I was talking to Sorensen's, Tyler and Ashley. They go and do the summer sales every time.
Yeah.
So they're in Texas for their last year in Texas. We were just talking to her last night about it because they were telling her that to remind me of the story. But she was saying that they got the 2 twins. They were 3 years old at the time, and they got a sitter. They've used her one time before, just for a little bit. So like we didn't really know her very well. We were just staying in an apartment for the summer. It was their last night there. They went out, and they come home, and it's like 11:30, and they can't get in. I guess there's a deadbolt from the inside that you can only unlock from the inside. And they told her to lock it. So they're trying to get in there on the 3rd floor. So Tyler's like, dude, we're knocking forever, pounding, and go to the window, try to climb over to the window thing. He couldn't make it over. And then all of a sudden, one of the boys is crying at the door, like yelling and screaming for him. And they're pounding. So they ended up calling the security.
Well, so babysitter's not answering the phone?
No, nothing.
What in the world?
Security guard can't get in. So they have to call the cops. The cops come, and the cops are like, hey, before we break in, is she a druggie? Do we need to, worry about anything? They're like, no, we don't really know her very well.
First
but
time
who knows?
babysitting our
Yeah.
kids.
So kids are crying. They can hear the baby crying. They're freaking out, and they're talking to the kid through the door like, hey, where's your brother? I don't know.
No way.
Where's the babysitter? I don't know. And they're trying to get him to push something over to step up and unlock. They can't do it. So they clear the door, and they have the cops bust the door down.
Yeah.
Break the whole door hinge and everything. Go in, and babysitter is crashed out on the couch.
Right there.
Right there. And they wake her up. She's like, oh, hey, what? Welcome home. And they're like, that was it. Just dead asleep.
They couldn't hear the battering ram coming through.
Couldn't
the front door.
hear anything. Yeah. So
Well,
they're like,
sounds
yeah,
like
that was,
forever.
yeah. So they had to fix the door and this and that. And,
They come out of her pay.
they said that they said that it took them a while to get another babysitter.
Yeah, they probably didn't leave their
pretty
kids
traumatized.
forever. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. It only takes one time.
One bad one.
Yeah, I mean, it took us forever. I mean, even to have somebody besides parents watch our kids,
Yeah.
And then, the one time, we lived in Moscow when Coco and Nora were really young. Nora was brand new. Coco was maybe 2. And we never went out. We would go out all the time with the kids, but we never went on a date. And so the last, one of the only times the first time we ever actually got a babysitter was when we, it was our last weekend in Moscow. We're we have to go out. Let's go out with friends. And so we called one of my friends, and she worked for the FBI. So I'm like, she's probably pretty good background check, right? and then we put the kids asleep. We put the kids down and then had her come over. Our date started at 9 p.m.
Wow.
But then that was the first time we ever had a babysitter. But then after that, it took us forever.
How easy is that
Yeah.
babysitting? When the kids are down, you're
Yeah.
just watching Netflix and getting paid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was
Good deal.
chilling.
Yeah.
She was chilling. I don't think we even paid her. She wouldn't let us pay her. We were just really good friends. I worked with her, but yeah. Here's some stories from people. So Danny Wilkinson had a kid put 2 high-powered industrial magnets on either side of his wang and had to
Oh
call 911 because we
my.
couldn't get them off. Yes,
No.
He
yes,
tried to get him off?
What
I
in the
don't even
world?
think you'd try
Yes,
at that point.
he was 9. It was traumatizing for all involved. What in the world?
Industrial magnet.
Where do you get
Well,
industrial
What do you-
magnets?
Yeah. What do
And what do
I've
you
got
do? Do you
industrial
try to
mag.
yank it off the
Oh,
kid?
no.
No, I don't know.
So she probably,
That's
it
a
sounds like she
rough
probably called her mom
situation.
and was like, hey, come help me do this. Oh, that kid's probably traumatized.
Oh,
We
yeah.
need to follow up on this
I'm
kid.
sure it's
I need a follow up message and see
wanna
how
know
this
how old
kid
the
turned
kid
out.
was, yeah.
He was
Yeah.
9, it says.
that's got to be crooked for the rest of his life.
He was not. That's my boys. I can see Brock's doing that, dude.
Yeah.
What?
On
You
either side
can
of
see
his wang.
Brock's doing that?
Like
What
him and
if
his
it
friends
works-
get together with
Wonder if it
magnets,
works
you
for
know.
my wiener. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, dude.
He's
I
a lot
dare
better than you,
I
Matt.
dare you to put it on your
I
wang.
double dare you.
He's like, he would never try that.
He wouldn't try that.
Oh,
Now-
we did,
yeah, now I'm
we
thinking
did
about
stuff
it.
like that in high school.
It'd probably
We were 9.
Yeah,
dude.
Well-
it'd probably be me daring him. Like, dude, I
You should
dare
try that. Yeah. Yeah, we did like the icy hot challenge when we were in high school. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, who can put icy hot on it and stay, and whoever lasts the longest, I won every time.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
sorry, Coda.
Wow.
We used to do that. It was a Barker that we put like on his jock strap or whatever.
Who?
Icy hot.
Barker?
Yeah.
Yeah, Barker did something like that.
Joel Bowman. Coming home to an insanely strong burned popcorn smell. Microwave was charred. The house smelled like burnt popcorn for 2 weeks. Popcorn was banned after that. I feel like no babysitters know how to.
They all push the popcorn button, relying. You can't
Never
do that.
would.
Yeah,
You
popcorn
gotta-
working, but never works.
Never
You got to
works.
dial in on your
They
microwave.
got all these organic types,
Yeah.
and saltless. Like you never know.
I know I'm 144 every time, and it's
Yeah.
perfect.
144. Wow.
Cell deafened. My son cut his hand with a pocket knife, and the babysitter almost passed out because she hates blood. Oh yeah, I can relate. It was spraying everywhere, couch, walls, floors. She called her mom to come help her clean it up. She didn't tell us until we got home. I feel like if it's an
Wow.
injury, you need to call the
Oh,
the
yeah.
company, call the family. Donnie said I had a babysitter in Denver. So this one when he was a kid. I had a babysitter in Denver jump from a second floor walkway with railing overlooking family room onto a pile of dirty clothes, probably like an 8-9 foot jump. So he's just a kid watching the babysitter. So Braden, you said this. Kevin Wood, what's the food splattered?
Oh, yeah. So we got the rundown of the story last night, actually. And what happened was, I think it was a family member, and he, I think was the first time he had this individual over, this girl.
It was like a later
And-
teen.
Yeah, she was a teen, and
Yeah.
he comes home, and he comes home, and she's on the couch with her boyfriend in like skimpy clothes, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the freak?" And then there
Like
was
not what he left in.
no, exactly. And
Not
then
the
there
sweater
was
vest.
like other people there as well on the couch or something. And he's like, okay, one, you're having like a little like party,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then two, he found like all this crap, like, all this food splattered the ceiling, all over this brand new light fixture. You know those like fabric big drums
yeah.
that go over like a dining room table.
Yeah.
There was food splattered all over that, all on the ground. Well, what happened was these kids were just being stupid, and they saw red wine vinegar in the fridge, thinking
Yeah.
it was like wine.
Yeah.
Like, well, we're gonna get sloshed or something. You know what I mean? And yeah, and so they dared each other to take shots
Yeah.
of this red wine vinegar, and I guess they were like, they would take a shot and then just spit it everywhere, and it was all over everything.
Cinnamon challenge it, dude.
And they
Yeah.
just kept going.
Yeah,
Wow.
I guess so. Yeah, and
said
it
it
was
was-
everywhere.
That's probably permanent
Everywhere.
too.
And Kevin, when he gets mad, you can
Yeah, he's a scary
you can
dude.
tell. Yeah. I
So
mean,
this happened at his house.
his house, and this was a while ago. This is probably 5, 6, 7 years
Yep.
ago. It was a while ago. But yeah, he called his. It was actually his brother's daughter. So he called his brother, freaked out. But then his brother ended up saying like, so more or less, Kevin just kicked him out of the house, and then his brother's like, wait, what? You just let my daughter go with some random dude? And then the brother got pissed off at Kevin. So it was just this big ordeal.
Wow.
But that was that light fixture was
Yeah.
like brand new. It was like $400.
Oh, how pissed.
Ruined.
Ruined my
Yeah,
dad.
ruined.
And he didn't even
Gosh.
pay her. He just said, "Get the,
Oh, I wouldn't
get out."
pay her either.
Yeah.
That's out of control.
Yeah, crazy.
Red wine vinegar gets everybody.
Yeah, they start to think they can use
Well,
it.
they were just so sloshed they didn't realize what
Yeah,
they were
didn't
doing.
know. They didn't know what was going on.
Erica Smith says, my daughter the next day told me babysitter ate 9 Z-bars and the trash was 9 wrappers. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, she
Wait,
definitely
what?
got her money out.
Yeah, it's $45 a Z-bars. Trevor new sitter took a massive dump and didn't flush it. Nest cam evidence.
Wait, there's a
Nest
Nest cam in the bathroom?
Is that
Whoa.
No, you're
That's
starting to
going a
worry.
little
Like,
too
I've
far.
been to
Who's
Trevor's
this
house.
guy?
What bathroom? Kara Hogan, 12 a.m., 3 and 1 year old still up, watching some kid on YouTube wash dye troll's hair. Soggiest diapers. Oh,
Yeah.
that's out. It's pretty rough though. Like I that was one thing we didn't like really want to do. I mean, you still need to get out and have babysitters, but when the kids are in diapers, it just
Yeah,
adds another
it's
complexity,
hard.
and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't. You feel bad, you know.
Yeah, it's hard.
Like we had one of Sloan's friends was telling us the other day that they have a would be like a baby that's like brand new baby, and so they had a babysitter. They had to go to something for his work or something, and so they had a babysitter come. So their baby spits up a ton, and the girl, they're like, oh, we felt bad, but the baby basically kept spitting up on this girl, and she was in a dress, and she was heading to like a dance that night, like prom or something, or like a homecoming, one of those dances. So the mom had to like come and like change out her clothes because her entire dress was ruined from spit up, like from babysitting all night. I'm like, well, that's a good. I mean, it's a good babysitter.
Seriously.
You know, I'd feel too bad, but yeah, we have a ton of like stories from growing up, but there's probably way too many to go through. I think that's it for the stories. Well, thanks for coming, and we'll wrap it up. If you haven't subscribed already, we're on Google, Apple, Spotify, and then I think we might start doing the YouTube videos. And once we get to like episode 20 or so, we'll start filming it. So, all right, fellas, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats,
Thanks for having us.
congrats on number 10.
Oh yeah, take it easy.
Yep.